สวัสดีครับ Good morning and welcome to Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and NBT World. Today is Sunday, January 4th, 2015, and you're with me, Suraphan Lautharanarit. So let's start things off with today's Thailand Moves Forward segment. First up, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has expressed confidence that the project to develop bicycle routes in the historic area of Bangkok will help promote happiness among residents. In his weekly address to the public on television, General Prayut spoke of the government's newly launched project on the development of bike routes throughout Ratanakosin Island as a New Year present for the people. He said its objective is to encourage more Thais to turn to riding bicycles instead of driving, which would help alleviate traffic and pollution problems, as well as promote tourism in the ancient quarter of the capital. Initially, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration has made improvements to 12 existing bike routes, totaling 8 kilometers. In the second phase, the works will be carried out within this year on another 5 routes with a combined distance of 10 kilometers. At present, there are 31 official bicycle courses within Bangkok. The government has a plan to open new ones on the Thonburi side of the Chao Phraya River, as well as many other areas across the city. Nonetheless, Prime Minister Prayut admitted that the construction and landscaping works could cause troubles to some people. He said he would like to ask them to be patient and think of the public interest, assuring that this project will change the community for the better and bring happiness to the residents. President of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, Pornphet Wichit Cholachai, says he is satisfied with the NLA performance in 2014, as it has successfully passed numerous laws despite the time limit. Mr. Pornphet confirmed that the NLA had considered all bills carefully, despite the great number of them. Thus, he believed all of these laws will be beneficial to the public directly and indirectly. According to him, the NLA considered a total of 71 bills last year. 49 of them were proposed by the Cabinet, 21 by the National Council for Peace and Order, and 1 draft organic law. 49 of the bills have passed the third reading and have already been enacted. The rest are under the deliberation process. Mr. Pornphet also said the NLA has been strict about quorum counting, as it is important to law consideration and the legitimacy of legal enactment. So far, he said the absent members were bound to important engagements, and the NLA usually inspected their permit of absence strictly before it was approved. The chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, or CDC, has assured that the new constitution will be implemented in accordance with the sufficiency economy philosophy to create a balanced and self-sufficient Thai society in a rapidly globalizing world. CDC Chairman Bawansak Uwano has mentioned regarding the National Reform for National Prosperity that the CDC is speeding up the drafting of the Constitution, which will uphold the sufficiency economy philosophy to create a sufficient and balanced Thai society, which is immune to the trends of globalization. He has also asked the general public to send in their ideas and suggestions to the CDC, which will be considered during the drafting process, with a goal to make Thailand a secure and prosperous nation and to achieve happiness and peace. More than 1,000 people have volunteered nationwide to keep holidaymakers safe during the New Year celebrations. According to Interior Minister General Anupong Paujinda, the government and provincial authorities have joined hands in providing safety on the road and in local communities. He also thanked volunteers and officials who have spent the holiday period working for the public. General Anupong added that the government did not only aim to lower the number of road fatalities, but also to save as many lives on the road as possible. The Interior Minister also visited a public service point in Saraburi province, where he gave the officials working there more support for their roles. Deputy Police Commissioner General Police General Pongsapat Pongjarean said homes under the police's surveillance program have been safe during the holiday period. Police General Pongsapat has led a team of police officers to inspect homes under the surveillance program in Chok Chai district. The program began on December 20th last year and will come to an end today. He said this year the police have been watching homes via CCTV cameras connected between their operations center and target houses on a 24-hour basis. Homeowners have been able to view the live footage of their homes through an application on their smartphones. It is also the first time that police use the Line application to give homeowners a safety update every 2 hours. So far, 109 homes have been returned to the care of their owners. The police will continue to care for the remaining homes until their owners have all returned from the holidays. The Railway Police Division has stepped up security measures to suppress crimes that usually arise due to the great number of passengers during the New Year's holidays. Commander of the Railway Police Division, Police Major General Dirasan Gyalsang Ek, said that train police are closely monitoring the situation on all trains, especially long-haul ones heading to and from the north and the south of Thailand. Drugs and smuggled goods are the main targets of inspection. He explained that smugglers often exploited the overcrowded situation on trains during the New Year's holidays to transport illegal drugs and smuggled goods. He said additional policemen have been deployed to implement the crime on train suppression, and they will patrol bogies regularly. The measures are also believed to help ensure the safety and peace of mind of passengers. However, Police Major General Dirasan reiterated the need for public cooperation in the crime suppression. He requested all passengers not to bring valuable belongings on board and to avoid any clamorous actions which may cause brawls and accidents. Mr. Wutichat Kalayanamit, president of the state-run transport company, says the company is putting around 2,000 extra buses a day to facilitate holidaymakers who start returning to Bangkok. The president said those who have not pre-booked a bus seat for their return can buy the tickets at bus terminals, but are advised to arrive at the terminal early in the day to avoid congestions. Those who need more information can either call the 1490 transport hotline or contact the nearest provincial transport office. Mr. Wutichat also emphasized that the company is pursuing strict security measures to ensure passengers will reach their destinations safely. The measures include putting 2 drivers on each bus so as to take turns steering the wheel every 4 hours. All drivers will also be given a readiness test at checkpoints along main roads. Mr. Wutichat admitted, however, that one problem which the company was unable to control was the duration of each bus trip due to the great number of vehicles on the roads, causing severe traffic congestion. More than 200 sky lanterns have landed on Chiang Mai International Airport, prompting the airport to warn of their potential dangers. The lanterns have also been blamed for causing fires at many houses in Mueang district of the province. The airport on Friday reported that 206 sky lanterns ended up in its airside, more than the amount found during the Yipeng and Loi Krathong festivals last year, due to a change of wind directions during this period. They could pose a serious threat to life if parts of them flew into the engine of an airplane, the airport said. In Chiang Mai, flights are suspended during the Loi Krathong festival when people usually launch sky lanterns, but they're allowed to operate normally on New Year's. A number of residences in Mueang District reportedly caught on fire this year as a result of the sky lanterns. The Government Housing Bank, or GH Bank, is allocating 5 billion baht towards providing low-interest loans for home buyers in an initiative the bank has branded as a New Year's gift to the public. Ms. Angkana Chaimanat, president of GH Bank, said the allotted money will fund low-interest loans for low to middle-income home buyers to enable them to buy their own homes. The loans may be taken out for home purchase, as well as for home construction, expansion, and repairs. The borrower will only be charged 0.87% interest for the first year. The interest will rise to 4.85% in the second year, after which the rate will be MRR plus 0.5% for the average loan taker. The adjustable rate loan amount will be capped at 2.5 million baht per borrower. Interested would-be borrowers may apply from tomorrow until January 30th. The Office of the Narcotics Control Board, or ONCB, is set to expand its anti-drug efforts to stem the influx of narcotics from outside the country. According to Secretary General of the ONCB, Pheumpong Chawalit, the 2015 measures will emphasize the prevention of narcotics influx from other countries. Anti-drug authorities and the Pa Mueang Task Force will work together to force drug traffickers along the borders out of the country. As for the solutions to domestic drug problems, authorities will track down and get rid of the financial sources of local drug rings, aside from the launch of nationwide campaigns. Drug rehabilitation and treatment plans will also be improved in both pre-treatment and post-treatment stages to enable addicts to lead normal lives with their families and in society without difficulty after rehabilitation. Thailand remains the #1 car producer in Southeast Asia, despite a production drop, according to the ASEAN Automotive Federation, or AAF. The AAF attributed the country's leadership in auto production to its continued growth in export. Although last year's production output was below the target by 2 million units, the country's auto industry enjoyed an increase in eco-car exports by 1 million units in the second phase of the eco-car project. So far, 9 manufacturers have been granted approval to invest in the eco-car project. Another manufacturer with a production capacity of 100,000 units per year will soon take part in the investment. Half of the vehicles manufactured in the country are for export, with Japan and Europe being major customers. Main products are Euro 4 and Euro 5 standard vehicles. The AAF forecasts that the auto industry of ASEAN would enjoy rising demand this year, as the economy was likely to pick up. The region's total production is expected to surpass 4 million units, increasing from last year by 5 to 7%. And that's all for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. The 7th core value, understanding true democratic ideals with His Majesty the King as head of state.
Faithful Buddhists are invited to donate to the building of a huge Buddha statue known as Praputta Metta. It's to be constructed at Tepratan Temple, Soidao, Jantaburi. With a 20,000 baht donation, the donor's name will be engraved on the foundations of the statue. Those wishing to contribute may make their donations at the Royal Thai Embassy or at the Consulate General in each country, 7-Eleven convenience stores and stores with counter service signs, Rung Thai Bank, Siam Commercial Bank or Bangkok Bank. Please contact the phone numbers shown for more details.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Welcome back to Newsline. Now time for ASEAN and beyond. South Korean government said it hoped inter-Korean talks would take place in the near future. The comment came hours after North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said he was open to a high-level summit with the South in a New Year's address broadcast by state media. North Korea has in the past signaled intent to improve relations with the South. The subsequent provocation from the North or U.S.-South Korean military exercises have stalled the progress. South Korea proposed to resume stalled inter-Korean talks with North Korea in January to cover issues including reunions for families separated by the 1950-53 Korean War. Moving on to other stories from around the globe. More bodies from the Indonesian plane crash arrived at a hospital in Surabaya on Saturday as police successfully identified 2 more victims. 8 bodies were flown in from military air base in Pangkalan Bun to undergo forensic tests to determine their identities as police prepared to release 2 to awaiting families. 30 bodies have so far been recovered, some still strapped in their seatbelts, along with pieces of the broken-up plane in the Indonesian-led search for flight QZ8501 that is concentrated on 1,575 square nautical miles of the northern Java Sea. Indonesia's Search and Rescue Agency said the search area had been widened on Saturday, as debris may have drifted more than 200 nautical miles, adding that helicopters would concentrate on searching the coastline of southern Borneo. A small plane crashed in Kentucky, killing the pilot and 3 other passengers, while a 7-year-old girl apparently survived and wandered from the wreckage to find help. The plane went down in a heavily wooded area of Leon County, about 115 miles northwest of Nashville, Kentucky State Police said. Authorities received a 911 call from a resident in the area who said a 7-year-old girl had walked to his home, reporting that she had been involved in a plane crash, State Police said in a statement posted on Facebook. The juvenile was in distress and was transported to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries, the statement said. Rescue crews fanned out to look for the plane and discovered its wreckage in a wooded area, police said. 4 people on board were killed, among them the pilot, they said. Police said the Memphis Center of the Federation Aviation Administration confirmed a distress call from a private aircraft in the vicinity of reported crash. A ship carrying hundreds of migrants arrived in the southern Italian port of Corigliano Calabro after being abandoned by its crew in rough seas in the Mediterranean off Italy's south coast in the second such incident in 3 days. Coast Guards managed to take control of the vessel, the Sierra Leone flagged Azadine, after landing on it by helicopter. The cargo ship had been drifting powerless after running out of fuel about 40 miles from Italy's southern coast, with as many as 450 people on board. The ship was built almost 50 years ago to carry livestock, a website tracking maritime movement said. It had been put on a collision course for the Italian coast before running out of fuel, he said. The nationality of the migrants was not yet known, a Coast Guard spokesman said, but there are women and children on board. It is the third such migrant ship in the past 2 weeks as smugglers turn to abandoning old ships in a shift in tactics. Colombia animal rights campaigner Fanny Pachon is angered by the local traditional bullfighting festivals. So angered that in what she admits is almost an act of desperation, she had some 2,500 needles put in her back to protest cruelty against bulls. Outside the mayor's office in Cartagena, a Chinese medicine and acupuncture specialist, David Hernandez, carefully placed the needles in her back. Pachon said she was frustrated with the lack of official response to repeated pleas to stop the bullfights. A small group of activists joined the protest, holding posters, such as one that read, "Bullfighter, if you're brave, dare to feel what the bull feels." Bullfighting is popular in Colombia, where in September, the country's highest court lifted a ban on bullfighting in the capital city of Bogota, saying it violated citizens' rights to artistic expression. And that's a wrap for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsin. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with some beautiful pictures of blooming flowers in Chiang Rai province. I'm Surapan Lautaranarit. Thank you for your company and have a great day. สวัสดีครับ